Hello, good evening, as if you are new to this channel, kindly like, share, subscribe, and please do not forget to hit the notification bell. Mr. Chinedu, let's all look at this news making the round. Though allegedly that court have sacked the sole administrator of Rivers State, talking about Ibas. These are got people talking and misreaction trail that news. It's subject to be verification anyway, but the same man who is reportedly being sacked is equally summoning an elected governor, talking about Fubara. Let us take it up.
I will give all the glory to Adele Fararotimi for the revelation in his book concerning the judiciary, how has been corrupted to an extent that it has become a threat to democracy. Judiciary in Nigeria has become a threat to democracy. I think to an extent now, the administrator of Rivers State should have, by this point in time now, pack his load from government house of Rivers State and leave that place automatically, because the High Court in that state has passed judgment on his appointment as illegal and has no jurisdiction to lay his hand on the allocation of Rivers State to administer anything in form of administration in that place, because it has been rendered illegal. That is the very fact. It's a developing story, and I can tell you that the judge that passed that judgment on Ibas in Rivers State recently made it very clear that his presence in Rivers State is illegal. But we have been having some form of pressure from of course, the Attorney General of the Federation and the CGN and the rest of them are trying to question the rationale of trying to go against the already tailored and agreed judicial agreement in favor of Ibas and Wike in that state. But the State High Court made it very clearly that they cannot longer continue to tolerate impunity, and so therefore they have automatically sacked the Ibas. While on that note, instead of man to pack his load and leave Rivers State, he went as far as summoning a democratically elected governor of that state for investigation or for interrogation. I don't know when Ibas has become a judge. I don't know when Ibas has become a lawyer. I don't know when Ibas has become the judiciary himself.
I don't know. If you look at the reporter summoning, I went through it. He's asking Fubara to come and explain why he thinks he should be reinstated. Is it not funny?
Well, unfortunately, those are the kind of things we see to make sure that they lay something on something and be able to continue to manipulate the entire Rivers people. That's the picture of the whole thing, and that's what is happening currently now. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to start, because they know that if they do not tread softly, carefully, they might ignite something that will destroy Nigeria. Yes, I can tell you that, because it has become very clearly that Wike's aid and some presidential aid has come out unanimously told Fubara that he must not be forgiven unless he comes with his two legs and bow down to Wike. So Wike has acknowledged that he is the one in charge of the crisis in Rivers State, and heaven will not fall. And heaven will not fall. That's what Wike is telling over 6-7 million people in Rivers State that contributed and voted for a democratically elected government. I don't know whether Fubara will be arrested. I don't know whether Fubara will be stripped of his mandate. I don't know whether Fubara is no longer the governor. I don't know whether Fubara, the suspension will lead to him not becoming the democratically elected governor, and possibly Ibas will now become the governor, democratically elected governor by Abuja. That's what they intend to achieve. But currently now, the court of Rivers State, High Court of Rivers State, has suspended and in fact, dismantled, unsettled him, from acting as the whatever administrator in that state, because it is seen to be illegal.
Because people are asking questions, in what capacity will Ibas be summoning a democratically elected governor, somebody that enjoys immunity under Nigerian constitution? In what capacity is he doing so?
I think it's from the capacity of corruption, it's from
Is it capacity of impunity?
from the capacity of impunity, from the capacity of criminality, from the capacity, you know, of a system that has already been corrupted towards tyranny and authoritarian leadership. If you look at it very clearly, you know that the man has even exposed the presidency with the way he is going about doing some things in Rivers State currently now. He has exposed Wike, he has exposed Bola Tinubu's intentions in trying to sit on the resources of Rivers State and of course be able to corner the wealth and funds of Rivers State to 2027 election. 25 billion. How can somebody be giving somebody who a lot of people made Wike governor? If people gather together and Fubara become the governor, I don't think it's a crime.
But Mr. Jidebaka, let us take attention to the Tompolo factor, who have made it very clear that Bayelsa is the home of Ijaw. We understand that Bayelsa is Ijaw community state. He said that if you dare Bayelsa, you will die. It won't look like direct affront or direct altercation with Wike, who is causing trouble.
We expected Wike's camp to reply Tompolo on that. I think Wike is afraid of Tompolo.
No, he's silent on that.
No, of course, he is afraid of Tompolo because, you know, in as much as I personally on my own, I have deep respect for government Tompolo. I love him, you know, even though some of the things he started doing lately, you know, does not align with the quest for the agitation of resource control and to send these northerners away from laying their hand on crude oil in Biafra land. But unfortunately, you know, the seed of fragmentation has already been sowed by the northerners and the British among them. So they see these things as if they are what it, you know, but still the northerners are still making them till this moment. But notwithstanding, I have deep respect for Tompolo, and Tompolo make it very clearly now, you know, that the first Ijaw governor, Simon Fubara, cannot be ridiculed by Wike or whoever that calls himself that Ijaw is one, that irrespective that can be having crisis with the governor of misunderstanding, that does not mean they are not Ijaw. That does not mean that at any point in time that Ijaw will not unite to pursue a common goal. And if they have exhausted every other means of, you know, peace, then they will unleash the beast of the Ijaw nation. And that is a clear message, a clear signal that Tompolo can easily dump whatever contract he has with. After the resources belong to him.
Actually have that capacity.
Yes, I can tell you that Tompolo is the only militant in Niger Delta that never accepted amnesty. As at the last time we saw him, remember, he was still an avenger. He owns the Niger Delta Avengers. The man is still very active.
But he have not come out clearly to accept.
Yes, because, you know, the likes of Edwin Clark and the rest of them that played the kangaroo move that saw the likes of Tompolo, you know, step down. But you need to see what Tompolo is doing. I don't think in Tompolo's community there is federal government presence there. I don't think so. Tompolo single-handedly is trying to see how he can, you know, reshape Baramatu Kingdom. And I'll give it to him, I'll give kudos to him. But the reality of God is that, you know, the Ijaw nation cannot do it alone. I've not seen them come out to, you know, talk about the encroaching Islamization and colonization agenda that is heading towards the South and the Southeast. I've not seen them react to that simply because they feel that Bola Tinubu's government is their government, they are controlling anything. But remember, the day of his birthday, an Ajib gas pipeline was burned by the militants. You know, to signaling, signaling, you know, that the man, you know, still have his structure up there. And the quest to come to unify the Ijaw nation and Biafra people, you understand, who them two are. The entire old eastern region is what we're talking about. Wike and Tinubu cannot stop that unification, irrespective of whatever it is. And I can tell you, if there's an extent that Fubara is being threatened, impeached, or arrested, I'm telling you, what you will see it with the speed of light. In less than 24 hours, Nigerian government will be unseated. And I tell you, because without money, without crude oil, there is no Abuja, there is no Aso Rock. Without gas from the Biafran land, there is no Abuja. And you see them, all these people that say they want Nigeria, they love Nigeria. They don't love Nigeria for one day.
So they are driving for the money.
You see, under Buhari, we saw the Minister of Petroleum, Buhari. Under Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Minister of Petroleum, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. All of them. You can see what is actually going on. But how long with the people of the Ijaw people, or whatever, the Shekiri, the Soko, and the rest of them, who saw Igbo people as whatever reason they are seeing them, come to their sensibility and understand the fact that the Igbo, for 64 years of Nigerian independence, or 65 years, the Igbo have never neared oil well. But still, they become the richest, the fourth richest, and the sixth most traveled tribe in the world.
That is a mystery if I'm going to tell you, because remember that you yourself the other day made it very clear that the Igbos are the fourth richest in the world, the most traveled globally,
the sixth most traveled in the world. And I keep on saying it. You understand? Without government presence, what is that? I'm not the kind of say that, bro, Biafra, let them continue to enjoy it, because that's what they want. The era of Biafra war has gone, and they feel that no, Igbo man don't care. The Igbo man believe in his chi. As simple as that. And God has been doing it. But I can tell you that in 40 states of Biafra province, there is no ethnic nationality that is not recognized. I can tell you that. You will see what will take place immediately after the launching of the Biafran embassy in Washington. Bro, the world is not going to look at whether you are Tompolo or whether you are Sarino Kuba or whatever you think. You understand? What matters is that the nation you are talking about have the economic power, the economic strength, the military force to stand any form of invasion before they can grant you. Bro, you know what we are talking about this is that, now it has become a reality that Nigeria is under threat. Gowon is crying. Everybody is crying. Danjuma is crying. All the people that fought Biafra are crying. The God of those women, Igbo women that were killed in the north in 1967, are still watching, looking what will happen at the end of the day. Anybody that says it, so be it. But I can tell you that there's a movement currently now. The Enugu youth, the Akwa Ibom youth, the Anambra youth are forming a coalition now to defend themselves.